All right, ready to go. All right, welcome everybody. So today what we'll be doing is diving into the social media side of Go High Level, specifically the content planner, the social media planner that's available within the platform. So I know probably many of you have already dabbled within that, but today we're going to kind of do a bit of a deep dive into it and creating posts, how to leverage AI to assist you with creating the posts, automating posts, and just getting strategic with the workflows section. So we'll dive in that today. Again, I like these to be pretty interactive, so hopefully you guys, if you are on Go High Level, you're already logged into your account and we can kind of play along together, or you're welcome to just kind of use this as a guide and go back to it when you're able to. But definitely always welcome questions and as we go through. So feel free to shout at me at any point if you're lost or if you have a question, something specifically. Again, I like to keep these theme focused. So there's so much to the system. I don't want to go off to anything else. Just for the sake of time, I want to, utilize our time here just to go specifically and talk about the social media side of the platform. So anything else, you guys know you can always contact me outside of this to help you out with anything Go High Level. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. I have Go High Level dashboard set up right now. Change a little of these things here. Okay, so and first off, if anybody's on this call who's not on Go High Level, again, definitely welcome you guys to be on these so you guys can get a little taste of the platform and some of the functionality to it. But if you have any other questions outside of it, if you're thinking about getting signed up or just any general questions, give me a shout and I can help you through that. But so first thing, when we log into Go High Level, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and navigate to the marketing tab.
There's two cranes there. Has there always been two
And,
cranes?
and if you guys don't mind muting yourself, there we go. So on the marketing tab, you're going to see a couple different options here at the top. We have social planner, we have emails, snippets, everything down to the ad manager and some prospecting tools. Again, today we're just going to talk about the social planner, but in here also is like our email marketing center, which we'll dive into at a later date or later huddle. So, but right now, let's go ahead and click on social planner. And what I'm going to do, just so you guys can see what I can see, and we'll set these up together, I'm going to dislodge these. All right, so when you first come to the social planner, this is what your screen will look like. All right, and you have quite a few different options to select and integrate your social channels, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Google Business Profile, LinkedIn, YouTube, all that. So again, feel free to connect any accounts that you already have for your business. Today, we're just going to talk about Facebook primarily and automating posts and creating posts there. But just so you know, you can set up any of these other channels. So what you're going to do, we just click on Facebook, and it's going to take us to our integration page with Lead Connector. And so it's going to ask you to go through the process to connect your Facebook pages. So it's going to bring up a little page here. What I'm going to do in this case, we're going to hunt down these four. So Swell Realty, Real Estate. I'm going to add our Richmond one. Uh, And again, just so you know, obviously, if you don't have a Facebook page, it will not show up. So you definitely, obviously, have to have a Facebook business page for you to do this. So got those added. I hit the refresh button, and I should see my accounts all connected there at the top. So we are good to go. So now this is synced with our Facebook business page in this case. So that's step one. Now, what we can do is, social media, specifically Facebook, Instagram, a lot of agents always kind of struggle with what content to write, what to come up with, what imagery to use, what dialogue to use or script to use, things like that. Frequency, of course, frequency is a big one. You guys are crazy busy, so a lot of times you don't have time to sit down and well, one, what to post, what images to use, things like that. But then two, posting at those different um, times, right? So just reminding yourself to sit down and do it. So again, that's where the social planner comes in. It's a great tool to use to schedule posts ahead of time and um, and create engagement. So we'll go through that, how you can plan all that out. So right now with the social planner pulled up, what we'll go into first off is just making a post. All right. And actually, first off, if you go into, so on your social planner page, if you go into settings, you'll actually see all your connected business pages. Most of you guys will probably just have one, but it'll show up here. And again, down here on the left side are all the different channels that you can integrate. So that's where you can go back and actually integrate those. All right. Right here in the social planner, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on new post. All right. And the first thing you got to do is post to which page. And I'm going to go ahead and select, let's just go ahead and select our main page there. All right. And there's a couple options we have. One, we could just write a regular post, right? Buy your new home today. All right. Um, And this will start building out a preview over here on the right side. The other thing that you can do, and again, this is where AI comes in big, is there's this little, we do this a lot, there's this little purple AI button here. And if you click that, you can actually select generate with AI. And this will walk you through a couple different steps. So, English language, tone of voice, professional, friendly, persuasive. So this will kind of build this all out for you, how you want your content to sound. The key message for a Facebook post, let's say buying a home for the holidays, right? Something like that. Goal for the post is to create engagement. All right. You could put drive leads. You can put share the post, create, anything like that. My choice here is just to drive engagement, maybe get more comments, get more likes. Okay. Um, Number of variations we can select. Let's just do two for the sake of time. And then you have some additional options here where you can get really specific with it. Call to action. So what your call to action could be, what your target audience for the post could be, and then any additional instructions you want the AI bot to do. But we're going to go ahead and click generate, and this might take a second. And again, using the AI, this saves you a whole bunch of time, right? As we'll see here in a second, this is basically you're providing it with some of the bullets, right? In terms of what type of content or what type of post you're trying to do, and then they're writing it up for you. And so as you see here, this is the post that it came up with. All right, here's our two different versions. Is a new home on your wish list this holiday season? Picture hosting the festivities in a space that's all your own, and it goes through the content there. I might read through that or might choose, okay, version one or version two. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with version one. I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and then boom, it inserts it into my post there really quickly. The other thing too, as we all know, we want to use maybe some imagery. So if I click the image button, I can do create image using AI. Let's say describe your image. How about a cozy house in a cozy house decorated for the holidays. All right, again, number of variations. I'm just going to do one right now. Let's see what it gives me. Click generate. And boom, there we go. Looks good to me. So I'm going to stick with that and I'm going to click continue and that'll insert that into my post. And there you go. Quick and easy, right? Spent less than a minute on it, came up with a dialogue for me. I gave it the goal or kind of what type of content I'm looking or um, what type of action I'm looking for. In this case, imagery is well included. I can post this as on my feed. Reel, you can't do reel because you actually have to have the video. But in this case, feed, or I could post it to our business story, right? So feed or story, you have the option. A lot of agents ask me this. The difference. We tend to do more stories now. I like posting as a story because you can actually see who's engaging or who has seen the story. When you post on your feed just as a regular content, or just the image and the content, you can see likes, comments, things like that. But if you post as a story, you actually have a little area there that actually shows you all the people that have seen it. So that kind of gives you an idea for how many people have seen it, how many are engaging, and so forth. Got a little chat here. Yeah, Joe, we're going to dive into that in just a second. Good question. So here we go. So let's just say I'm gonna go ahead and post it on my feed. Now over here at the bottom right, we have the blue post icon. So we have two options: save for later or post. So if I click post, we'll have a couple different options. Post now. That's just going to go ahead and post it directly on our page. All right. I'm not going to post this just yet, but if we want to post it right then and now on our page, it'll do that. We can do schedule post. Okay. So if we click schedule post, it will bring up a little calendar here. So let's say that I wanted to go out on Friday. All right, so I click Friday. I wanted to go out at 12:18 p.m. Or again, this is where looking at when you're setting up your cadence or your frequency of these posts, this is where really researching time of day and when people actually see your posts is big, right? With using the planner because again, we're busy. We don't always have the time to be sitting down at our computer or our mobile app to post at the exact time when you're going to get the most viewership, right? So this is when we can actually schedule these out. So let's say that Tuesday mid mornings around 9 or 10 a.m. are one of the highest traffic days on Facebook, or you're going to get the most viewership. And we might say, okay, I want to make sure this goes out Tuesday at 9 in the morning. All right. And then I can click schedule post here, and this will be added to our planner. And so you'll see this gets added here. It's scheduled. There's the post scheduled. It's going out December 9th at 9 a.m. All right. So it's set and forget it. Now we don't have to do anything with that post. That's now going to post on our social media at that time and day. All right. The other thing you can actually do is if I go back and let me edit this. Actually, I might have to turn off the when it's scheduled. Let me edit this here. Oh, maybe because it's already scheduled, I can't do this before. Here. Well, let me do a new post. Can't hurt to do it again. Let's say this time I'm going to do, how about, I'm going to do AI again, generate with AI. And my goal this time, I'm going to do, are you thinking of selling your home in 2026? Here are some things you should be thinking about now to prepare your home for sale. All right. Goal for the post, let's say, and here's another thing you guys can do. Um, maybe you wanted to, let's say, download, or let's see, request a free copy of our home selling tips. Okay. Goal for the post might be to get comments. Okay. People commenting on the post to request that free download. Number of variations. I'm going to click generate again. Let's see what it gives me. Again, you can really play around with this thing. I mean, use the AI component in Go High Level is incredible. I mean, it really is. So, again, play around with the tone of the voice. You can customize this yourself, but let this thing do the work for you. Always want to check, right? You always want to check the final result, and you can even modify the final result of the AI. But use this to kind of get you started, right? So here is what it gave me. Version one, thinking about selling your home in 2026. It's never too early to start preparing for a seamless sale. Here's how you can get started. All right, boom. Curious about what else you can do, send us a message for your free copy of our home selling tips and so forth. All right, so we're going to go with that one. I'm going to click continue. Again, I'm going to use the AI to give me I don't know, let's say house on the water. All right, click generate. And again, these are all free images, so you don't have to worry about any, rights issue or anything like that. Click continue. All right, boom. So now we're back to where we were just started or what we were going through earlier. So post, so we went through schedule post. The other thing you could do is send post for approval. This will basically, if you guys have any, like I know some agents have a marketing person that's tied to their Go High Level. This can send it to them for approval. You can also look if you guys need help doing this and you say, hey Matt, can you write some content for me? I have the access to send it to you for approval, so you can check it out before it gets posted to your social network. All right. And then schedule recurring posts. So Joe, back to your question. So you have the schedule a single post that schedules it for a later time, but then you can even do recurring posts. So if I click that, this will send out. This might be, I don't know. Let's say uh, maybe for the holidays or something that's recurring because again, it's going to take that same post. I'm going to get into it here in a second, how to actually use categories and tags to switch this up a bit. But this is basically just going to set it up to go out, every so often, right? So repeat this. This is a one we're probably going to do once a year, right? So repeat every year. We set our date frame. What date should we post? 3rd of December, and we click schedule post, and that just means it's going to go out once a year. This same post that we just wrote will continuously occur. But you could do a general post, right? Maybe something on on the buyer side or the seller side, or maybe just a market tips or a market update or something general that's not going to change based on however long you're setting this out to recur. So you might have a general post that goes out once a month, the first Wednesday of every month, again, just constantly keeping your social media updated. That's kind of the goal here with scheduling them out. All right. I'm gonna stop there real quick. Does anybody have any questions on that piece as far as creating the posts with AI, anything like that, scheduling them, setting them up in your calendar? Joe, did that answer your question?
Yes, yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so this one we'll just do save for later. That's another option we have there. That'll just put it back into our dashboard here. So again, now we have two posts working. We have one that's scheduled to go out on next Tuesday at 9 a.m. and then this one's just in draft mode. Okay, we can go back there and we can add that. All right. So the other thing that I want to go through with regards to when we talk about scheduling these out is there is a component within the social planner around categories and even hashtags. So with categories, if you click on social accounts, you have this option here, or if you go to your settings tab and then you click on categories, okay, you guys have an option to categorize your content. All right. So in real estate specifically, we might click add new category, and let's say we do one that's around buyer content. Okay, pick a color. We could do another one, maybe that's centered around sellers. Okay, so seller content, we'll make that one blue. All right. We could do one for let's say, I don't know, local entertainment. Maybe you guys are scheduling stuff on what's going on in the area, entertainment wise. Okay, local entertainment. Maybe another one for market updates. All right, I'll make that one orange. All right. So now what this gives you the ability to do is when you begin building out all these different pieces of content, you can add these to categories and then queue these up. All right. So uh, let's say I have this one here. Okay. Now over here, you can actually click. Oh, let me go into, forget, I have to go back and look at, so if I actually add settings tab, got the categories hooked up, market updates, okay. Um, so what we can do is, let's say we add a new post and we can actually set up, when you go, there's an option now at the bottom, category queue. And so what this does, this is basically going to create, I mean, you could set it and forget it in terms of, oh, we got more in here to add. There we go. You can really build out a pretty long, lengthy sequence of having this tool develop and create and publish your social media content for you. All right. So we have, and again, this could be a matter of you sitting down and you planning out what's going to post for the next month, for the next quarter, right? Probably don't want to do too far out because a lot of things change, right? But again, just get an idea for this thing really building out and posting for you, working for you within your Facebook and Instagram and other channels. So category Q. So select a category. So let's say we're going to do seller content. Okay. Enable future posts. Okay. If we click that for Q, prioritize new content and click continue. What I'm basically doing here is I'm going to say any new posts, as you guys are developing new posts, and let's say maybe it's more seller geared, or maybe it's more based on buyers. Maybe you're trying to develop buyer leads or seller leads. Maybe it's just basic market update reports, the things that go out. I know Rain spits something out. I see a lot of agents use that Rain data that comes out, and you can post that on your social media. But whatever that category is, you can designate Facebook, the social planner, to post that type of category of all your posts to go out on a recurring time. So let's say every Monday and I'm gonna go for a good time again. Let's say 10 a.m. Right? Every Monday at 10 a.m. And then I don't know, Friday at what is this? Why does it say? Oh, that's why. 11:36 a.m. I don't know. I click queue posts. So what I'm basically doing, and again, I'm going to have to add because right now there's no post that fits into that category. But what this is doing is I can set up. So Facebook is going to say, okay, every Monday, I'm going to look at, Joe's social media and take one of his pieces of content that fit into the seller category. Every Tuesday, I'm going to find, Joe's, market updates or general language around getting your tips for getting your home ready for sale or first time buyer related content. What are things that you need to be looking at? You never bought a home before. What are the steps that you need to take? All of this content, it's basically automating that. So the posts need to be created, but again, Facebook is basically divvying it up and they're saying you're telling the social media planner tool what to post and how often to post that. So again, Mondays might be your market updates. Okay. Tuesday might be one that goes out related to sellers. Wednesday might be one related to buyers. Friday, people are getting ready for the weekend. It might be something related to local entertainment or bars or restaurants to check out or things like that. So, again, we can go many different ways with this, but I always encourage using the category section and the category tool go high level within the planner because that way you can find posts. Right now we don't have a lot here to look at, but as you guys develop your content, you're going to want to categorize that content. Not everything's going to fall into one single category, and that category shouldn't just be real estate. It should be broken down and more granular into different categories in that case. So I bring this up because it's a great feature of the planner tool to really start automating and building out, and then really diversifying your content type. You don't always want to have the same category or theme going out every day or every other day. You really want to dice it up a bit, to again help with engagement and see what pieces of content are performing better than others. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? All right. Okay, and so you'll see here in our category queue, what we have queued up. That was just, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And let's go back to our planner. All right. The other item I want to bring up is posting reviews. So this, you need to make sure you have your reputation management portion in Go High Level set up. So if you actually go down to reputation, you need to have this uploaded or integrated. So right now it says connect Google Business Profile. If you click on that, you will actually you'll be sent to the tab to connect your social again. And where am I at? That'll integrate your Facebook back in. And so, but what that'll do is you can actually integrate. If I go to new posts, you'll see an option for post reviews. So if I click post reviews, all right, it'll ask you for two sources. You have the option to do Google or Facebook. Okay. And so again, we have to go through. I don't know why this one's not connected. I have to go back and reconnect ours. But let's say, so you have two options. So if you want to post your Google reviews on your social, or you can post your Facebook reviews on your socials. Those are the only two sources right now that Go High Level is integrated with in order to do this. But let's say you select Facebook. You also have the option of which reviews for them to automatically post. Let's say you just want to post reviews that are 4 stars and above. Okay, so you can click that. Then you select your social accounts. All right, I'm going to select this one. Maximum number of posts. So this is basically, again, how many posts total that you wanted to post and how often. So I'm going to do one post. When should we send these? We're going to do, we'll do every week. And it goes out Monday at 9:30 a.m. All right. And then it'll post to our feed and we could post to our Facebook story. So when I click next, essentially, and when we go ahead and publish this, what this is telling Go High Level to do is it's going to grab your reviews online and that meet these requirements that are 4 stars and above, right? from those social accounts, or it's going to post on these social accounts that you selected, and it's going to grab those reviews. And the next stage here, when you click next, again, I have to go back and reconnect the source, but select background. This next section is just going to be like a design tool. So it's gonna build out the template of what that post looks like. And really what it's doing, again, automatically, it's going to post your 4-star and above reviews on Google or on Facebook. Okay. And it's going to do this without you having to worry about doing it yourself. Right. So in this case, every week on Monday morning, my page is going to go online. It's going to find one of the reviews that meets that requirement or that criteria, and it's going to post it for us. All right. And it's just going to happen automatically weekly. All right, so that's a cool little feature, a cool little tool within the planner as well. So you don't have to worry about, sifting through your reviews. Um, Again, you could do as many as you would like. Maybe you do 3, right? And it just gets queued up. Okay, so if it's maximum of 3, then because maybe you guys are great, you have a whole bunch of 4 or 5-star reviews. And so every week on Monday morning, all it's going to basically do is once one goes out, okay, it's going to queue it up. So then the following week, ones that haven't been posted, it's just going to post those. So it's not going to be the same reviews that are going out. It's just going to build its own little review queue. And so, whenever you have new reviews that come in, which again, we actually have our huddle next week is on reputation management. So we're not going to dive too much into this today, but we're going to have a whole huddle based on the reputation area and what we can do to generate reviews and using Go High Level to do that, to reach out to our audience and generate reviews. But this tool right here will basically be bringing those reviews and posting it for you automatically. All right. So I wanted to touch on that as well. I think, let me see. So we went over connecting it, making posts using AI, the categories and tags. When I talked about the categories section, when we went through this, the same thing works for tags. So you can do the same thing with hashtags. Hashtags are a little bit more specific. So again, maybe you do hashtag Virginia Beach Homes or Chesapeake Homes or Norfolk Homes or something like that. Again, you could use hashtags to do the same thing with categories. So every piece of content, maybe that matches up with something in Norfolk or Newport News or Suffolk or wherever. That all floods into the same category for that specific hashtag. Um, Mobile app. If you guys don't have the Go High Level mobile app yet, please do so. There are a lot of things you can't do within the mobile app that you can do on the desktop. So, of course, what you see on my screen, a lot of things you're not going to be able to on the mobile app. But the social media planner tool is available within your mobile app. So you can download that and also use the planner to build out certain things. There are going to be certain items in there, features, items that you cannot get to. You can only get to on the desktop or laptop. But definitely download the mobile app. There's a whole other area in the Go High Level mobile app for the social media app planner. Now, one of the last things I'm going to hit on real quick, and again, this is another thing I don't want to overwhelm anybody. The automation piece within high level is really what makes high level high level. And so what you can actually do is, let's say that you want to really build out, I don't know, we made this one here about selling the home in 2026, and we have a download guide, pre-downloadable guide for them, right? So if we go in here, let's say that we click edit post. Can you use the planner to post a happy birthday wish to a client follower? Yeah, you definitely can, Joe. Give me 1 second and I'll address that. But let's say that we want to put, okay, curious about what else you could do. Send us a message for your free copy of our home selling tips. Let's say, how about this? Reply yes below for your free copy of our home selling tips. Okay. All right, so we're going to save that. Now, what we can do is actually go to our, and you know what, I'm actually gonna, let me post this. I wish I could, oh, there we go. Okay. All right, down here. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and, for the sake of this huddle here, I'm gonna go ahead and post this. Let me just make sure, thinking about edit. Thinking about selling your home. Number two, everything looks good. Reply yes below for your free copy of our home selling tips. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just post this now. So I'm going to click post now. Boom. It has been posted to our page. All right. So that thing is live. It's in progress. It's posting. Now, what we can do with the automation is if you guys click on the automation tab, all right, top right, and what automations are, it's basically, um, automations have two main components. One, a trigger. So something has to happen in order for the workflow or the automation to happen. All right. And then second is how we react to that action. All right. That's what creates automation. So you're going to see a lot of your follow-up and different tools within the automation tab. In this case, what I want to do is I want to respond back to those who wrote in the comment section yes to that post we just did. All right. So if you go up here to create workflow, there's a start from scratch, but so let me just show you this real quick. A lot of these things are built out. Automations can get pretty overwhelming quick. So again, I don't want to dive too deep into this today because we'll have a whole separate training on this, and there's a lot of tutorials and content already out there. But what I can do, so here's our first item. We have to add a trigger. So if I click add new trigger, and the easiest way to do this is just to find, to locate it. So I'm going to do comment. If I start looking for comment, it'll actually show up. So here's our Facebook events. There's Facebook comment on a post. All right, so here's a trigger that's already built out for us. Other things that you guys can do, I don't have our Messenger set up. I know a lot of you guys use Messenger as well. If you connect your Messenger, your Facebook Business Messenger into Go High Level, you'll also have a trigger there. So for instance, if somebody messages you on a post with a specific question or comment, you can also build out these automations in there. So you can kind of create your own follow-up within Messenger as well. But in this case, we're going to do Facebook comment on a post. I'm going to select that. Workflow trigger name, we'll just leave it as that. Which page are we doing? We're going to do Swell Real Estate and Realty, the one we just selected. Post type is a published post. Okay, so it's already been published. That's the one we just did. We got to find that post. So here's the one we just made, thinking about selling your home in 2026. So we're going to select that comment. And then we're going to click add filters. Okay. And what my filter is going to be is if I click select, I'm going to do exact match. And that comment on that post is going to be the word yes. And that's it. Okay. So what this is basically going to do, if I click save trigger, this sets up our first trigger. This is going to, the workflow that is started is that when somebody looks at that post, they read it. Oh yeah, I want a downloadable copy of that for free. They comment yes in the comments area, and that's now going to start up our automation here. Okay, and it's going to start building our sequence of events. Okay. Now what happens after that trigger, if we click the plus sign, we can go through that. Okay. So we can add a I don't know, let's say we wanted to comment back, right? So again, we type in comment, replying comments, okay? And let's say that, all right, what is your email? Oh, I cannot type. What is your email? Okay, and then we can go through and save that action. So we are basically building out a sequence here that is essentially going to comment back and forth, all right, between our within our post itself. So if we save this action item, there's still some elements I want to do, but I want to show you guys how this works. When somebody looks at that post, they comment back the words yes. Then what this is now doing is any comments that with the word yes on that post, it's going to reply back from us, or we could say, great. Let me send that over to you. What is your email? Okay. And then we click save action item. This is the comment that's going to go onto each one of those, or this is the reply that's going to go onto each one of those comments. Okay. So that's kind of how we build that piece out. Again, I don't want to go way down the road here on the automation. If you guys want to talk separately on that, we certainly can. I'm going to have a different training on automations. One thing to save you guys time is if you actually go back into workflows, there are what's called recipes. Go High Level calls them recipes. So if you click on create workflow, and you'll see select from template. So instead of start from scratch, there's select from template. And there's a lot of pre-built automation available within here. So let's scroll down. There's appointment booking, Google My Business message. There's a birthday template. I think, Joe, you had asked about that. We'll get into that in a second. But here is, okay, so actually here's one that's Facebook comment automation. It's already set up. So if you click preview, you'll see how it's built out. This is already done for you guys. So you don't have to worry about getting your hands dirty, really. This trigger is Facebook comment on a post, similar to one we just did. We're responding to that comment. That's going through our interactive messenger. Okay. And then what it's doing is it's giving them action items. Okay. This times out, it just ends. Maybe they don't respond. There's a call us, which gives them the option to call. There's a visit our website. Okay, they can click that, or they can select get the checklist and they go through the interactive messenger again, and there it is. All right, so actually, if we look at this, create workflow template, I'm going to do the Facebook comment automation. I'm going to click choose template, and that's going to build this out for us. And so we can actually see what's going on here. Okay, so there's the Facebook comment on post. We'll see what it's doing. So in this case, they're saying contain, so they're probably saying reply with the word checklist. So contains phrase checklist. All right. Respond on comment. Okay. Here are the multiple comments. And these are just set randomly as comments reply. This just makes it so it doesn't look so automated or robot-y, right? So each reply comment is going to be different. It's just a variation. One's going to say, hey, check your DM. The other's going to say, thanks for showing your interest. Please check your DM. You could do just sent you a DM. Okay. And so you can add those. Right. So again, that shows when people are reading this thread of comments, it's not the same exact thing. They actually think it's a human that's replying back. All right. Then it goes into the Facebook Messenger. All right. Facebook Interactive Messenger, reply to comment via DM. So now the bot, the automation is taking this from the comment into the direct messenger. Okay. And this says, hi, I'm excited that you want to start your personal finance journey. Again, this is just a template, but this is the message that you're going to customize. Okay. And then it just basically, this gives them the option. All right. The option of what to do. So that's the message. And then these are the buttons that they have access to. So they'll have a call us button that'll put in your phone number and they can call you directly. Visit your website. Here, you customize your website, get the checklist, right? All this stuff is in here. So again, use these recipes. These are already built out, saves you a ton of time and they work. All right. But, again, you can feel free to customize your own automation in this case. Let me see here. All right. Is it cap sensitive for the trigger to work? Um, no. So Joe, that's just the if you're referring to, are you referring to what word they would have to type? I'm assuming the reply word. Because if
Yeah, when
so,
you wrote the
yeah,
post,
it
it
doesn't.
said
Yeah,
type yes and it was all
that's
caps.
not case sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can write whatever. So and when I get again, we can go a step further, and we eventually will. What you guys can really do is when you're gathering these emails, okay, these can connect directly into your Go High Level database. All right, so it's just again all the way back to initially where we created this content using AI to give us some suggestions. Um, you can also go to Chat GPT and get them to put together a general, top five home selling tips or top five things you need to do now to prep to buy your first home or whatever that is. And you can create your own guide, all right? Or maybe you already have one. Great. But you can wrap that up into a PDF. Okay, that's your link bait or your lead bait, right? Something free. Somebody sees that post, they comment yes, or they comment checklist or whatever, and you start that automation, right? So it's really from the get-go, you built yourself. I mean, high level in this case is working for you completely with the content creation, scheduling out these posts, and then not only that, but having these automated features on the back end when people are replying, and maybe you're not there to reply right then too, or have it being there at a specific frequency or whatever. This allows all that to happen. Okay, so again, really stretching that social media planner tool and linking in automation to support a lot of that. So what I always say is you just got to get your hands dirty with some of this stuff. Go into the automations tab yourself. You'll see some of the ones we just worked on. I'm just going to delete these right now. Okay, but again, feel free to look at the ones that are already available that have been built out. They're also categorized, so communication, maybe converting leads, trying to generate appointments, lead nurture, onboarding. We even have ones that have been set up within. So for our swell agents, you guys we've loaded in a lot of the pre-built real estate automation tools. So same thing with like the website themes, email marketing, campaign templates. Same thing goes with automation. So we have one specifically for real estate lead nurturing in here as well. So again, great, saves you time if you select some of the recipes that are already built out, just have an idea for what you're looking to get done, or feel free to again get your hands dirty and build these out from scratch. Really play around. There's tons of different triggers that you can look at getting set up. Again, having that trigger, something has to happen, something has to occur for this automation to start. That's what your trigger is. And then the second component is what is the next step? Once that trigger begins, what happens next for that lead, for that contact? Okay. That's the automation tool simplified. All right, essentially. So in this case, we were just talking about Facebook's commenting on posts, but there's tons of other features within there. All right, so that's gonna wrap that up. It's about 12:50. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it open for if anybody has any questions that they have right now on social media, or the social media planner tool. Got about 10 minutes, so even anything general, feel free to let me know. But just to give you a heads up, next week we're going to be doing it on the reputation management tab. So I just to preface, it's important if you guys haven't already, just to get the most out of it, make sure your Google business profile is set up. If you have one, great. Verified, great. If you don't, start working on that if you plan to get the best use out of it. Because Reputation Management Center is all based around the Google My Business area. And so we're going to be working through, how to generate reviews, what to do with them, things like that. Um, so yeah, so that is it. Do we have any questions on anything that we talked about today? Nothing today. All right. Well, if you do, you guys know how to reach me. Call me, text me, email me, whatever. If it's anything specific about the social planner or anything go high level in general. And or if you're even interested in getting set up with Go High Level and you're not already. So, but hope this was helpful. And yeah, let's take advantage of it. And it's a great tool to use to really get your social media off and running, especially in time for 2026, kind of getting your strategy together for it. Joe, I think you did have a question I saw in the chat about birthday. Can you use the planner to post a happy birthday wish to a client follower? Did I answer your question on that? I can't remember.
Yes, I saw that in one of the pre-built. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you can use that. The other thing, yeah, so yeah, you can. I guess the best way to do that would just be loaded in your birth dates, and then you can't. So I don't think you can reply on somebody's profile using that. This is just you would have to go in there directly. This is just developing the content within your business page. It's not actually being able to go to somebody's profile and commenting. I don't think there's a way to set that up specifically. Um, but you can feel free to look at that pre-built campaign and see if that works too. Um, or you can generate a post. You can see all of your clients' birthdays and then go in there and create a scheduled post that happens. My birthday is June 19th. So you go and you create a recurring post on June 19th every year that says Happy Birthday, Matt, right? So you can do something like that, I guess. So that's another alternative. But I don't think you can comment directly on their profile within GHL. So, but all right, well, cool. Well, any questions, you guys let me know. Have a great rest of your day, and we will talk later. See you guys next week.